What does a 30K service look like on my GX460 if I take it to the dealership? So I took it to Performance Lexus in Mason, Ohio, Cincinnati, Ohio, and I did it on June 19th, 2025, right before I headed out to California. Mileage in 29,275. Mileage out 29,275. And I've been getting service every 5K intervals. So I had some personal things that I wanted to add in here too. And this is my first time actually going through this list. Some of the things here I may or may not agree with. It's expensive, but in my 30K service, I have a prepaid maintenance plan with Lexus. So when I bought the car, I added that as part of my payment. So that typically includes engine oil, replace oil filter, reset maintenance reminder light, just basic things like that. It usually always comes with the rotating tires, replacing air conditioning filter. I had put K&N cabin air filter and engine air filter, so they just gave me the spare filters so that I could have them at home as a spare part. They do a multi-point inspection, replace smart key battery, visually inspect brake pads, calipers and rotors, check installation of driver's floor mat. If you don't recall, there was a recall a long time ago with Toyotas with that being an issue of getting stuck in the brake pedal, I guess. Maybe that's why they have that in there. But yeah, they did pretty much the oil change, which is taken care of in that, so that comes out to $0 for that particular service. The next thing that's part of the 30K service that they recommended outside of my maintenance plan was the transfer case fluid. So they changed the transfer case fluid, I believe, and that came out to $120.40. To oil, some gaskets, and plugs. So first page, what's taken care of in my prepaid, and then the transfer case fluid. So let's go to the next page. Okay, they also did the rear, front and rear differential services. So they changed the fluid on both the front and rear differential. That came out to $240.02. So let's see. So pretty standard. They recommended doing that at 30K. And I guess that was pretty good because I was about to go on a road trip. So definitely comes in handy to have fresh differential fluid, especially if I'm going off-roading or something like that. I had installed a transmission cooler with my friend Jerry, and I just had them take a look at it, see if it was installed correctly, if there's anything leaking. They didn't charge anything for that. Number 5, I had them put on a Jurassic Park plate because now that I have the swing out bumper, the normal license plate spot is taken away, so I just had them put like the funny Jurassic Park license plate on there. They didn't charge anything for that, which was really nice of them. Some people could be nickel and dime you and do that. I requested a balance of my tires, and they completed because the rotation comes with the service anyway, so I always do the balance on 04. That's $100, and I always do that because KO2 tires kind of just like wear unevenly in some cases, so I always go for a balance. Okay, I had them grease the drive shafts, all the all-wheel drive components. That came out to $57. I'm curious why. It's just grease, like that red automotive grease from 3M, I believe. I don't know why that cost $57, but maybe that's just a dealership thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's some things in here that you just question, why is it that expensive? Let's see here. Customer statement of problem. Okay, yeah, because I got rear-ended, I wanted to just double-check one of the parking sensors. It failed, so I'm going to get that one replaced. My friend has that on order, so we'll get that done. They looked at the multi-point inspection. They looked at the tires. I've got 1332, 1332, 1232, 1232. Brake 7mm, rear 7mm. Check the battery, that kind of stuff. Pretty standard stuff. They don't charge for that because that's part of the maintenance plan. Customer statement of problem. Number 10, customer states replace aftermarket transmission cooler hose with factory clamps. It might have taken them some effort to do so because I just had the normal like screw-on clamps, so they wanted to put the constant tension factory clamps on there. I think it took them some effort because they have to get down in there and do it. They charged $250 for that, which is actually quite a lot. I don't think the hoses cost that much. I think the labor was more. But you look at some of these things and you're like, huh, did it really take that long? $250 worth? I mean, I guess it is what it is at this point. I mean, it's been a month since I had the service, but sometimes you just wonder. Not downing the quality of the work, because it's, you know, my car's held up for a month, so no worries. Customer statement of problem. Customer states fluid adjustment to transmission. So I think because I added the transmission cooler, some of the fluid was low, so they added some fluid to that. They charged $135 for that, which is, I think, a lot of money. But like I said, it's just one of the things, like how much did they do? How much did they take? Oh, maybe they have to take off some components and check the fluid itself. It's not, maybe not a normal, I don't know. I don't know the procedure. I'm naive to that. And this is what happens when you're naive to these types of things. The dealership can charge you because you're naive to it. So this is just on me. So it's I'm not blaming anyone except myself. Finally, all my skid plates, all my Allen bolts were stripped. So what they did was they extracted the stripped Allen heads and installed 5 nut rivets and replaced the bolts. They charged $394 for that. So maybe it's just a bunch of labor cleaning some of the components and things like that. So that's expensive as well. Charges and deductions for old jobs. Shop supplies, $27. Document storage fee, $289. So total labor, $1,175. Total parts, $122. Let's see. Sales tax, $89.62. So total amount due, $1,417.27. We did not do the alignment in this case because I had just put fresh springs in the rear for the swing out bumper weight. So we wanted to let the weight settle a bit because it was leaning a bit to the side. I think that just might be the KDSS pressure a bit. But I don't know. I think I'll get an alignment here pretty soon, but it's just, that's one service that we did not do. So I think if we did that, it would probably be $1,600 total. But yeah, $1,400 for a 30K service if you go to the dealership. Now, if you guys are savvy and could probably do this all yourself, you could probably save a bunch of money. But for me, $1,400 is, it's not a huge deal. It's stupid. Some of the things I think in here maybe charged more than they should. Maybe I don't know all the background that goes into it. That's just my naivety. But yeah, $1,400 is what it charged me. And this is my 30K service, and I did it exactly one day before I drove out west, which I think is paramount to my health, my car's safety, my car's health, my personal safety. So I'm always just OCD about getting service. I'm about to get another one here pretty soon before I head back to Ohio. It's just going to be an oil change, rotation, balance, and alignment. But yeah, thanks for watching.